Hello everybody, Jim Tedesco here, Millennium County RR version 2.0. It's time for another update of the layout. I made a few changes, and I'm going to explain why in a minute or two. So, let's get right on to it. Stay tuned, I'll change the camera angle and we'll go from there. Alright, well, we're going to start at the back of the room. I started laying out the buildings to get an idea where they need to go. And because, obviously, like I needed a siding, or a spur, I'm not sure what it's called, I think it's called a spur, to go over to the Pepsi plant, for example. It comes off the main line. And I'm also going to put the school here. My propane plant. I'm going to redo a lot of this stuff, take it off those boards and mount it either on a new board or right to the bench itself. And there's the water tower back there. We have an oil refinery or oil storage plant right there. But before I get too far into the buildings, Dave Thurber from Crooked River and Eastern Crooked Reefer, I can always get that. You know who it is, Dave Thurber from Crooked River. He came up with an amazingly brilliant idea. He sent me a text the other night. And he says, look, he says, you should think about maybe only having one main, or possibly two mains, and branching everything into it. So in other words, instead of having four main lines, which of course was U.S. Sugar, the Freight Line 1, Freight Line 2, and the passenger line, he says you need to break that down. And for obviously good reasons, which I'll get into in a minute. So I went ahead and reconfigured everything. And what I'm doing is I've got the two main lines branch into one, which also what did I do here? Oh no, take that back. U.S. Sugar and the main line and the other main line all branch into one single over here. And I did come up with some bridge work, by the way. Not permanent yet. I still got to do the tunnel in the back. But this will solve a whole bunch of problems. So instead of having four lines going down this way on the road, you're only going to have two. You're going to have the passenger line, which I decided to, for the moment, keep separate. Although I may go ahead and put a crossover in so that it could go into the freight area. But I'm not sure about that yet. And I only show one track here, but over here there's two tracks. And there's the bridge. It says it's not complete yet. I still got to make the pilings. That piece of foam there is just holding it up to take the stress off of it. I got to put the pilings in yet, but it is painted. I'll have two tracks going on it, which of course one will be the passenger rail and the other one will be the freight rail or the main. So we get back over here and it branches off again. So we've got a turnout there and a turnout there. The first turnout opens up the U.S. Sugar, which I brought it all the way out there now. So I'm still going to try and put some sort of a processing plant in at some point. Then the other turnout goes to the second main line. And of course, you got the first main line that came off the first, if you guys are still with me on this, it's a little complicated. They come around, we still have this big cluster sort of, over here, and then back over to four lines again. So it just made sense to do it that way. And the reason why, as Dave Thurber said, first off, it would be very expensive for a railroad to have so many bridges and so many main lines, which she's right, it would be. So prototypical, that would not be the way to go. Not only that, but like he also said too, that you want to enjoy more op sessions. This way you're going to have to pay attention to what's going on at any given point on the layout. You just can't let them run around in a big circle, which makes sense. So you're going to have to stop the freighters or let the passenger line through, or let US sugar through, or vice versa, or something to that aspect of it. So I took his advice. He's a smart guy. and it clearly knows a little bit more about railroads than I do. Of course, I never claimed to be an expert, so, and I welcome any advice that's useful to me, and this was very useful advice. So thanks a lot, Dave. I appreciate it. And so anyway, that's the way we're going to do that. So, on the other hand, I've started putting buildings up. They're just temporary, just to get an idea where everything needs to go. So here you're going to there's a bank in the background, there's a new building, 2 new buildings, I don't know what they're going to be yet. A strip mall, in front is Domino's Pizza. You got Kentucky Fried Chicken, Dairy Queen, there's a Jiffy Lube over here, and of course the moving company, which I've always had. Now down here in this valley, this is really going to be like a separate area. It won't really be considered, because there won't be no road going to it from up top. There'll be a road going this way probably. And, back into oblivion. But anyway, we've got the 2 new buildings there. I'm not sure what they'll be yet. There's a little mini gas station. There's a church. The condo or apartment complex. Don't know if that's going to stay there or not. Probably will, but who knows. Another warehouse. The welding facility. And of course the car dealership. I don't know where those billboards are going to go yet. They're just laying there. Also up here you've got another train station. And I actually converted it into a real building because it was actually a coin bank. And the electronics went bad in it, so I said, you know what, I can still utilize that, so I did. There's the police station. You could stay back there possibly. We have the Sick and Tire Company up here on the 2nd level, which is also rail fed behind it. Let's see what else. Now up top, like I said, you're going to have a massive rail yard here, a big ladder. There'll be a lot of track up here, at least that's my plan anyway. Now, I still don't know what I'm going to do with my coal stuff. But it's probably, at least part of it's going to be up top, another part will be somewhere else. The coal loader should probably be up top here, that would make more sense. And the coal dump will be on the bottom level somewhere. I'll get around to that eventually. I sunk the turntable in, that was a massive job. You can probably hear the train in the background. It's been running all morning, I don't know what they're doing, actually all afternoon. I think they're doing a lot of switching back there. So anyway, I got the turntable in. It's not operational yet, obviously. And the engine house is also in place. So there'll also be tracks feeding to that. There's going to be a big network of railroad tracks up top. And I've got all the room in the world for it, so we'll be good. I'm seriously kicking around putting an intermodal station up here as well, if I have the room for it, which I'm pretty sure I will. And I also ordered on this wall, on the ramp, I also ordered some background buildings. I ordered 4 of them. 4 industries that'll go back there, which will kind of blend in. And mind you, I haven't gotten around to doing any of the clouds or any of that stuff yet. That'll come a little later. I'm probably going to hand paint all that stuff. And that's about it, really. So that's the big plan. I think that's going to be it, I hope. I mean, I'm sure there might be some additions or modifications somewhere along the line, hard telling. You know, it's really hard to plan something on this scale. You know, especially since I'm not trying to do one section at a time. I'm pretty much doing all of it all at once. So, and it's getting crowded in here, let me tell you. I moved those cases from underneath the table here to underneath the benches. They're better out of the way that way. There's the file cabinet. You see my fridge. There's the workbench. And of course the phone's ringing. Hang on. Of course it was a scam call. I get like 3 or 4 of them a day. One other thing I did, which was really necessary, and I kind of goofed up when I initially built this thing, is my office bench here, media area. I lowered the whole thing 6 inches. It was so high I couldn't see the keyboard unless I stood up or put the keyboard on my lap. I still need to lower the monitor yet, so I'll have to get some help for that, but I think we're going to bring it down another 7 or 8 inches, hopefully more. So I won't have to stare up at it. But this makes the workbench, or this media area, much more easier to deal with because it's so much lower now. So that was a necessity. I did that yesterday. It took me about 2 hours to take it back apart, lower, reposition it, and put it back together. It wasn't too bad. Let's see, I still have a case down here, cabinet, which will be moved at some point. I moved the trash can over here now. So I think we've got stuff where it's got to be placed. I still got a mess on the floor. That's going to have to be cleaned up here pretty soon. My wife had an extra seat, and she didn't want it anymore. She bought it brand new. I don't think she probably sat in it more than 2 or 3 hours. So I bought it off her. That's the Techni Sport. So now I have 2 chairs in here. This is my other one. Of course, I'll probably keep that in the middle, or if I have a guest here or something, we can both share it. You know, I'll have a place to sit. Anyway, I'm rambling on here, so I better knock it off. That's all I got for today. Still waiting on stuff. The mail is slow. I got some more of the stuff, the bonding. I bought 3 bottles of that. I bought 2 new batteries for my cordless Dremel tool, since the original battery took a dive about a year ago. Didn't last long. So I'm still waiting on a whole bunch of stuff. I've got, like I said, models that are coming. I've got track pieces that are coming. I got another bridge coming. So the bridge I bought is not going to go beside the first one. It's going to go to the other dip. And that third dip there where the blue or greenish bridge is and the girder, I'm probably going to make a lake over there, or yeah, more likely a big lake or a couple of lakes, who knows. So we'll see, but there's not going to be anything down there as far as buildings or anything like that. It's all going to be nature. And this first one, might even put a big lake in there. I don't know yet. Like I said, there's so many things I have to try and think about and make sure I incorporate it in there. You know, you guys remember last one I had a nude lake. I want to have a nude lake again. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. Obviously I can't put it in the dips. I could. But that's a long way down for the people that travel to get there. So I don't know. What the hell that was?
Jim, can you hear me?
The wife's calling me. Hang on a second. Yeah, I even have a walkie-talkie here so I can talk with the wife. This way she don't have to come running over here all the time. She wants to say something. So we can actually communicate with each other here without having to leave the confines of our easy chairs. Alright guys, that's it. I've been rambling on too long. I'll be showing another video soon, hopefully. Until then, as always, keep it on the rails. Thanks for watching my videos, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.